so we're going to have a look at how to do the Spearman's rank correlation with a data set. So this time, a correlation is the numerical value for the relationship between the two variables. So it's a way that we can define it, and a Spearman's rank is going to help us look if there's a relationship in terms of the increase of each variable. So it doesn't have to be linear, it could be exponential, or it could be a different shaped curve, so long as it's always going up or always going down. So that's what we're going to have a look at now. So we need to first of all add in an extra column, which is probably easier to put in between the two. So this is going to be, the data I've got is the points per game and then the league rank of the teams. So we want to first of all find the point rank. Okay, so that's going to rank these numbers in order. So we can get the Google Sheets to do this for us. We can do equals rank, and we want to do dot average. So it's this one here we want, and that's really important to make sure you get that one. And then in the brackets, first of all, you're going to place, and I'm just clicking, the value that you're specifically looking at for this row, and then comma, and then you're selecting all of the values from the list that you're choosing. So what this is doing is it's looking at where this value is comparative to all of these. And we can press enter, and that gives us the rank, which is 9th. And we want to be able to drag this down to have it for all 20 of our values. So to do that, we then need to just tell our formula that we don't want this to change as we drag it. So we've just got to put $2 in there. Oops. So we want to put $2, and then that means that we can now drag this down. So we can click the blue square and we can double check it. So if I selected this one, yep, it's comparing this to this one here. We can double check a different one, and so on. And you can see where we've got tied ranks, it's given it as a 0.5. So for example, the first place, second place, there was no third place, so therefore we've got tied both of these two in like third and fourth place, so it's given it the average rank of 3.5, and that's why it's really important to get the average here as well. So we're now going to do the same for the league, and this one's going to be quite obvious for this data set, because it's literally just going to be what's already there, because they're already ranked and in order. Okay, so the reason that I've redone it is because it doesn't matter whether you go from one being the biggest or the smallest, so long as they're both the same. So if we use the computer to do both of them, then we know that both times they're using the highest values as 1. So the highest value in the points and the highest value in the league. So these are the two that we're using. We now don't really need these ones at all. So we can get rid of these two columns. So I'm just going to kind of grey those ones out. So the next step is to find the difference between the ranks. So we're now going to have to add a new column to find the difference. So we've got the point rank and the league rank. We're now going to find the difference between them. So we can do equals, and then we click this value and we're subtracting this value. And then again equals, and we're doing this value, subtract this value, and so on for your data. Or similar to before, you can just drag that straight down and you can double check that they are correct. So it's always worth double checking, and yet they're working. So that's my difference. And now I need to find the difference squared. So this is the difference squared. So we're now going to take, again, equals this value here, and we're going to square it. Okay, so we can do that value times by, and then that value again, and we get 121. We're just going to drag that down and we can double check. Yep, it definitely works all the way through. And then this is the column that we're interested in for our formula. So we're now going to work out the total of this column. So equals, and it's the sum of these ones here. So that's the column we're interested in finding the total of, and that's 2070.5. So that's my final value that I'm really interested in. Okay, that's the formula that you're going to be using in the IA to work out what the Spearman's rank correlation coefficient is equal to. So it's 1 minus the 6 times the sum of d squared, this whole section here. This is the value that we've just worked out. This is the sum of d squared. And then you're going to divide that by n, brackets n squared minus 1, and n is just how many values you've got in your data set. So for example, in mine, I've got 20 values, and therefore my n would equal 20.